Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back. It's Travis here with JT Wealth. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Palantir, their 9% rise on the day, as well as their CEO talking about adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. So let's get into it. Alright everybody, like I said, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking us out. Hopefully you find something of value in today's video. If you do, please remember to give us a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. And we're going to talk all about Palantir today, which is a company that is near and dear to my heart. But they're up over 9.4% on the day. They did dip a little bit back down in the after hours. But another thing that they talked about today, their CEO was talking about adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. So that is fantastic. It's one huge tech company enjoying and understanding the prospects of another huge tech company. So we're going to get into that in today's video. But before we do that, please consider checking out some of the links in the description section down below where you can access our Discord group via Patreon, or you could also sign up for a new investment account, whether that's with M1 Finance, Webull, Robinhood, or BlockFi. Whatever your choice is, it just helps the channel out when you use those links. So thank you very much. Please consider doing that. All right, let's get into Palantir. So Palantir today, as I'm talking right now, Palantir Technologies is trading at $20.21 in the aftermarket, which puts them up 9.42% exactly, with 0% in the after hours. So that's ticker PLTR if you're unfamiliar with Palantir. Now Palantir IPO'd at about the $10 mark and shot all the way up to a peak at about $39. So it is down significantly from there, but I think it's recovering to a much more level-headed price. But I'm just a stupid YouTuber. Nobody should listen to what I'm saying, but let's take a look at the TipRanks site for Palantir, and it'll showcase the analysts' projected price targets, and they get paid to do that, so let's take a look. PLTR page right off TipRanks. Obviously you can see I screenshotted this earlier in the day when it was about $19.93 a share. At the time you can see we've got 2 buy ratings, 3 hold ratings, and 4 sell ratings. So the Palantir on TipRanks has a current hold rating based on those 9 analysts' ratings. But let's look at the average price target. The average price target is still $24.75, which is up 24% from that price earlier just below $20. They have a high price target of $40 and a low at $15. So Palantir reported earnings this morning. Let's take a look at some articles talking about those earnings and about Bitcoin. So our first article is out of Investors Business Daily, and it's titled Palantir Stock Reverses Up as Revenue Tops Estimates Amid Tech Sell-Off. It reported first quarter adjusted earnings that met expectations while revenue growth came in above Wall Street targets. The Palantir stock reversed up in afternoon trading on Tuesday as the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite retreated. The Denver-based Palantir earnings for the March quarter were 4 cents per adjusted share, and revenue jumped 49% to $341.2 million, the maker of data mining software says. So the analysts estimated that Palantir earnings of 4 cents a share on revenue of $332.2 million for the quarter ending March 31st. Palantir rose 8.7% to near $20 in the afternoon trades, and obviously, like I said, it did break that $20 mark. And then the stock had dropped more than 7% to $17.06 after the company released earnings. That's where the reversal comes in. Shares in Palantir fell 6.5% on Monday to their lowest point since late November, but Palantir stock had swooned in 2021 amid a broad decline in software growth stocks. If towards the end there that last paragraph got tricky, it's because they kind of gave you the news in reverse. They talked about the most recent price at the $20 level towards the end of the day. Then they talked about Monday's price. They talked about the stock dropping right after earnings before it came back up. And then they talked about Monday again. So I'm not really sure why they did it that way. But here they say the revenue outlook is above expectations. For the current quarter ending in June, Palantir forecasts revenue growth of 43% to $360 million. Analysts polled by Zacks Research had projected second quarter revenue of only $343 million, which was up 32%. So government agencies use Palantir software for intelligence gathering, counterterrorism, and military purposes. The software maker aims to expand into healthcare, energy, and manufacturing sectors. Heading into Palantir earnings report, the software stock had a relative strength rating of 70 out of a best possible 99. Now, personally, after dollar cost averaging up, unfortunately, my position of Palantir has a cost basis of about $12. I bought in initially at the IPO right around that $10 mark and then purchased a few more recently when I saw the price dip back down closer to my actual price. But for those of you who are a little bit more unfamiliar with Palantir and may not have known what the company did back when they did IPO to get in at the lower price, I can give you two examples of instances where Palantir is utilized, and that's in the military, like they said, for law enforcement as well, but the CIA, targeting aspects over in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever the case may be. I want you to envision what you see in those law enforcement cop movies, right? You've got those big, walls with pictures and information, and people are drawing strings from one thing to the next. And basically what they're creating is a big link diagram where you can connect one person or one article or one place to an event. What they tend to do, what Palantir does, is they create a software version of that where every single person, place, event has a connection. And you can edit those connections as you go through it. So it's like a living document. You can take a person, connect it to a place, connect it to an event, and then connect that person to other people, that place to other people, that event to other people. And the software is smart enough to be able to tell you now this person is connected to all of these other people through kind of that link diagram, right? That link analysis. So it's a fantastic platform for military, for law enforcement, and their ability to take large data sets and put it to use for those applications certainly has an ability to stretch into other things as well, right? So if they do decide to get into industrial logistics, maybe oil or something to that effect, they will 100% be able to leverage that data that they can collect for the end user. So this is a fantastic platform, a fantastic company that I do think in the long run is going to be a significantly higher price than it's at today. But enough of that, let's get back into the articles. All right, and here's where it goes big on the day. Palantir, the stock bounces, snapping their 10-day losing streak, and they say it will now let customers pay with Bitcoin. Just the top two paragraphs, the most important ones here. Palantir topped revenue expectations Tuesday morning while announcing that it might consider adding Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to its balance sheet, much the same way Elon Musk and Tesla did. But the data integration and software company reported a fiscal first quarter net loss of $123 million, or 7 cents a share, compared with its loss of $54 million, or 10 cents a share, a year earlier. So they've obviously lost less and they're managing to make more. So after adjusting for stock-based compensation, Palantir earned 4 cents a share, whereas it posted a 1 cent adjusted loss per share a year prior. Chief Financial Officer David Glazer said the Palantir will now offer customers the option to pay in Bitcoin, and that the company is considering adding Bitcoin or other crypto assets to its balance sheet. He says it's definitely on the table from a treasury perspective, as well as other investments as we look across our business and beyond. So going into the second quarter, Palantir anticipates revenue of $360 million, whereas the FactSet consensus calls for about $344 million. The company also expects an adjusted operating margin of about 23%, and the company continues to project annual revenue growth of at least 30% for 2021 through 2025. So I think if they can hit that revenue growth of 30% per year for the next 4 years, they're going to be in a fantastic position. But now let's take a look at Stephen Guilfoyle's article, whom, by the way, is long on Palantir, and he's looking to justify that position in his article off Real Money. So here you can see the title of the article off Real Money. Here are my thoughts as I try to build a long-term position in Palantir. It says, I don't mind the fact that Palantir has been weak itself as sector weakness has exacerbated the downward momentum. So let's get into his article here. So talking about the quarter, he says, for the reporting period, data integration and privacy protection software company Palantir reported adjusted EPS of 4 cents, which was in line with estimates. Revenue generation of $341 million not only beat consensus, but was good for year-over-year growth of 48.7%. The revenue growth seems to be accelerating again after appearing to slow down a bit during the fourth quarter, and US-based commercial revenue increased some 72% over the last year, while US-based government revenue increased 83%. Quick note here, because they are a government contracting company, that is why they point out that government revenue increase, because that's where they're receiving the majority of their funding. Okay, so Q1 adjusted operating margins of 34% easily topped the firm's own guidance of 23%. Cash flow from operations amounted to $117 million, up $404 million from the Q1 2020. Their adjusted free cash flow came to $151 million, up $441 million over the same year, and average revenue per customer increased to $8.1 million, up subsequently from $7.9 million. They currently have 149 customers. Now, as for their balance sheet, cash is up a bit, dragging total current assets with it. Their current assets dwarf their current liabilities. There is no entry whatsoever for goodwill. We appreciate that. Non-current debt remains stable and rather small relative to other firms in the industry, as well as to the firm's own cash position. The balance sheet for Palantir is solid. Looking ahead, for the current quarter, the firm expects to drive revenue generation of $360 million, an increase of 43%. The firm again expects to see adjusted operating margin of 23%. So for the full year, Palantir sees adjusted free cash flow in excess of $150 million. So long story short, I am long Palantir. I do have a position in them. Like I said, it's about at the $12 mark as far as my cost basis. But let me know what you guys think about Palantir. Are you currently holding Palantir? Did you buy after the IPO? Did you unfortunately buy around the $39 mark? Where do you sit with Palantir right now? Is it something you're considering? Let me know in the comment section down below. And I almost forgot, for those of you who are always here to see Julie, don't forget you can check her out over on the TipRanks YouTube channel, where she puts out Monday through Friday morning update videos before the opening bell. So remember to check her out over on the TipRanks YouTube channel. And that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you found some value in the video. Remember, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.